Hello everyone, Anina back for Vivid Earth. How's everyone doing today? Let me know in the comments how this week was for you. My golly, energy's wild, is all I can say. It's been a bit of a wild week. Energies are off the charts. You know, we had two Schumann blackouts and one can really feel the energy. And then we had the lunar eclipse a few days ago. Today is the equinox, either the spring equinox if you're in the northern hemisphere or the autumn equinox. I can't even speak today, or fall, depending on how you like to call the season. Today, so today is a big day. So it's pretty much a portal to a whole new world. Remember, this is the natural new year. This is when the astrology calendar actually starts. So it is kind of what we call not just the astrological new year, but also the natural new year of the planets and the way, Earth is positioned. So Aries being the first planet in the astrological chart, we've just moved into. Aries is all about leadership and action, and we're certainly seeing that around the world. And it feels like something big is about to go down. You know, this whole week since the lunar eclipse has been intense. We had terrible wind here, like an ominous wind just blowing for days. And then suddenly it was quiet. But the energies, the geomagnetic activity has been off the chart, which really means that our energy is off the chart because that device only measures Earth's energy. So, that is a combination, as I said before, of all the geomagnetic activity, us moving to a lighter and more photon-rich place in the photon belt, and solar flares, and geomagnetic activity. So it is a combination of both. It's both our energies that are rising, our vibrations, and then also that of, the sun, the central sun, pummeling us with information, because light is information. That's how information is transmitted. Everything is actually light, if you think about it. So, we are moving into the golden age, the age of Aquarius, the age of light, the age of information, the age of higher consciousness, the age of non-materialism, but rather spirituality. So it is a very significant time, and I believe a very significant step forward for us as a collective and as a planet. And things are hotting up around the world. We're seeing a lot of disclosure coming out. The JFK files were just released yesterday. It's a very revelationary time as we see a lot of things that have been hidden come to light, and even for the sleepers to see, because no one can ignore this amount of information coming onto the planet. So the archives and the files are there for everyone to see, but I think not to get lost into all the files. We know that the most crucial information will be picked up, and we pretty much already know that information. So it's important not to get sort of pulled into the rabbit hole, because we've already been down there. Most of you that are awake, if you're not awake, it may be good to go down the rabbit hole, but not to get distracted away from yourself, because we all have work to do at this time. And there's only a window of opportunity to kind of participate in this rising of consciousness on the planet, which helps the whole planet, and it helps disclosure, it helps us shift into a new era. It really is that what the planet needs right now. A lot of people that are not even aware of this, as you know. We've got lots of friends and family that do not even acknowledge this information. But it is crucial. Now, I just have to apologize that I've been so quiet as well before I go on. It's been super busy my side. It's like, I don't know what hit me, but I've just got all sorts of projects that need to get out. And with all the energies, I mean, I've been feeling so kind of frustrated and irritated. It's like everyone is moving too slowly around me. It's been quite interesting, especially yesterday. I felt like I just wanted to move, get this done, get on to the next thing so that I can have some quiet time too. I don't want to be busy all the time, because then I don't have time to work on my own, consciousness and awareness. So I'm just like, let's go, let's get this done, because I had a lot of like practical things to do related to projects writing copy, putting stuff on websites, newsletters, finalizing retreat budgets, and all these things that I'm working on. But it felt like everyone around me and everything around me was just too slow, including my phone, my laptop, everyone around me, and I was just super irritated. But it seemed to be passing. But I've heard a lot of people comment on this, that they've been a lot very, very irritated and they're easily triggered, and and this is all the muck that's coming up as well. So all these lucky, like the mud rising to the surface, that foamy bits rising to the surface. I really feel like it's that, it's not nice to look at, it doesn't feel nice, but it has to be released because we need to walk into the new, and we can't take all this old stuff with us, and we don't want to either, because we want to get to know the new, this new human that's busy emerging, that we are becoming, and we want to really focus on that and activate our gifts and activate our consciousness, learn to communicate telepathically, all these things. Psionic abilities, this is what we want to be working on right now. So anyway, we are reminded that we are still kind of in this 3D construct, and that things need to get done. And that is just, par for the course. But yeah, just to say, I've had an exciting or busy week of finishing up projects. One being our new local retreat in South Africa, which a lot of people have asked for, which will happen in Stanford, the beautiful little town of Stanford. It's just past Hermanus in Wild Country, on the southern side of South Africa, if you will, it's like 2 hours out of Cape Town. And it's just this beautiful organic farm. It's going to be very laid back, this one. It's very close to nature. We are on a beautiful farm, and they've got a lot of organic vegetables and beautiful scenery and mountains, and it's just, the energy there is incredible. So that retreat is from the 29th of May to the 1st of June. And I hope to see my local colleagues and fellow light warriors there, and that they can join us. Beautiful cottages and suites. In the morning you'll get your basket with organic farm produce, eggs, bread, muesli, orange juice, and fruit, and beautiful fresh stuff, organically harvested from the farm. And then, we'll be focusing a lot of our work on Qigong, which is basically energy work. You will learn how to move energy within your body. Like, it's not only for health reasons. Yes, it is. It prevents disease. It can heal you disease. It can heal mental ailments, whether you've got, too busy a mind, or you're depressed, or whatever the case is. It can really shift things for you, because you learn how to shift energy within the body. And that is necessary, because we're going through this physical ascension. So this body vehicle needs to be clear. Like, if you want to connect with your higher self and your higher guidance, well, this body vessel needs to be clear. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to connect. It's also incredibly grounding and centering. It calms your nervous system like nothing I've ever seen. And it's a beautiful art. It really is a beautiful art. It's very easy to learn. And so we'll be practicing that twice a day, learning two different forms, and doing a lot of meditation and enjoying a lot of wisdom teachings. So I'll be there to mentor and guide people. My husband is a Qigong master. He's a doctor of Chinese medicine, so he's a gifted energy healer. He's also got incredible wisdom from studying the Tao philosophy for decades, and also the Buddhist philosophy. And he's just like from another world, to be honest. He's not like us. But anyway, so he'll be teaching a lot of that, which is incredible. And yeah, if you just want to like a change of mindset and learn how to work with energy in your body, and how to shift uh, physical and etheric energy in your being, then I'd highly recommend this. It's only a 3-night retreat, but it really will get you started on the right track, and you'll be able to take these tools home and practice them every day. So it's not like, you finish with a treat and that's where it stops. It actually does continue. So anyway, and then I'm coming to Joburg for our Vivid Earth, New Earth gathering, Joburg gathering, because a lot of people have asked me, and I'll be there at the end of April. So the gathering will be on the 2nd of May in Joburg at a beautiful art and healing sanctuary in Saxonwold. So I will send that out, but keep a lookout on my Telegram channel for that, as well as where else? On Instagram, Vivid Earth in Instagram, it'll be on there. But Telegram is where, yeah, there's a lot of daily interaction. And then I'll also post it as a post on YouTube. So if you can't find it, you just go to, I think it's community, and the static post will come up and it will be there as well. So it'll be up today still. So that's happening. What else is happening? Oh, and then we're also doing a Qigong, 1-day Qigong retreat also on the 1st of May and the 3rd of May. The 1st of May will be in Joburg at the same healing art sanctuary, and the other one will be on a farm, on a beautiful sustainable working farm with a lot of incredible koi sun roots. That will be on Saturday the 3rd of May. I need to get my dates right because I've got so much going on. So there's 3 events in Joburg, so I hope I'll see you at least one of them if you're local, and if you're in Joburg, otherwise share with friends and family. And so that's what we have going on at the moment, and then also working on a retreat in Mauritius, which we've moved to September because too many of our regulars can't make July. And actually, when I asked my higher self, it told me not to travel in June, July. Which is maybe why it kind of didn't work out, because too many of our regulars said, hey, I can't make it. I'm in Europe. I've already got plans for July. Can you not do it another time? So we said, okay, that's like too many people have come with the same information. So we'll just move it to September. And I'm very happy because afterwards, actually, I did some pendulum and asked my higher self, and it said not to travel in June, July. Now, I'm not saying that's for everyone, but maybe that's for me in South Africa. I get the sense there's something going to be happening here locally. Also, it could also got to do with sort of currency reset, like a global currency re-evaluation, which we've been expecting for years, by the way, and which seems pretty imminent. There's a lot of people working with bonds and that are, sort of, I would say maybe thought leaders in that area that have said it's literally days, and they're like literally crying because they say it's finally here. For 3 years they've been saying it's happening next Tuesday, it's happening next Tuesday, and it just hasn't. But it looks like we are finally here. Not only that, but Iraq also announced that it will launch a digital Iraqi dinar. Not only that, but they also announced that they are ready to resume all world trade, and that will happen in the Iraqi dinar. And if that happens at the new value of the Iraqi dinar, well, that will be very good for the country, and it will be very good for this global currency re-evaluation that we've been expecting for years, because Iraq will be the start of that. Iraq, I don't know. But Iraq will be the start of that, when we'll see, other devalued currencies like the Vietnamese dong, the Zim dollar, the Bolivar, what else? There's a few very devalued currencies that will be resetting at incredible values, I believe, because remember, this new currency that they'll be trading as a digital currency will be based on, it will be backed by their resources, gold, silver, platinum, I don't know, diamonds. It could be different resources, but it's mostly gold. And that's why a lot of the gold around the world's been repatriated, because we know that the Vatican stole a lot of that wealth from not only from us as individuals, but from countries. And we know we are actually the ones that are the energy and the blood, sweat, and tears for this wealth, because it's our birth certificate bonds that have funded all of this global wealth that we see the elites sort of gathering and have been gathering for decades and hoarded and not shared with us. It's actually been done on our backs. So that has to be reset, that has to be corrected. We also have to go into a new financial system, which has been imminent for years. And I have it on very good authority that the quantum financial system is already operating in the background, and that will be a digital sort of blockchain system, but with quantum technology. So not just plain, blockchain. So quantum computers, and those are pretty incredible. Um, so there will be a financial reset. We don't know how this whole process is going to look like. We don't know how it's all going to roll out. If there will be a stock market crash, as has been uh, rumored for many years now. Maybe crypto will crash as well, but it will rise again, I believe, or at least some if you invested in the right ones. But the Iraqi thing is pretty big because that's the first domino to fall, and things will then rapidly spread out across the world. And so we don't know what this is going to look like. We don't know when, but it looks pretty imminent. So that's all I'm saying. Things are lining up. Um, Countries have to get to a level playing field, which means their currencies have to be according to the resources they have and not some artificial manipulation. The dollar's been pretty much what it is because of artificial manipulation and forcing many countries to trade in dollar to be able to buy oil, because of that agreement they had with Saudi Arabia in 1970, right? It was US military protection to Saudi in exchange for Saudi trading all of their oil in US dollars, which is why it was called the petrodollar, also known today as the fiat dollar, because it's not backed by anything. It's just backed by paper. It's basically monopoly money. So it's been a huge Ponzi scheme. So that has to be reset. It's not sustainable. It can't continue. And we will see how this whole flip looks like. It looks like we might be in for a softer landing than initially anticipated, which will be good for everyone because we don't want everyone to be so shocked that they're jumping off buildings and, just like pulling the whole frequency of the planet down. They're going to be in fear and trauma. So I don't know. There's definitely going to be some shock waves coming, but it probably won't be as bad as it was initially planned. So what? So the Iraqi parliament agreed to resume oil export next week, and it will be done in Iraqi dinar, as I said. So Habat al-Halbusi, head of Iraq's Parliamentary Oil and Energy Committee, has announced that oil exports from the Kurdistan region will resume next week, and this follows a joint meeting between the oil and energy divisions. So that's pretty big. There's a little bit more information that I'm going to bring on that, so it's going to be a bit of back and forth. I don't have too much time though. I've got another appointment in like 10 minutes, so it's going to have to be rapid fire, guys. What else? Let me see now. I'm feeling under pressure. Obviously, the JFK files, that's been huge. Now, it's already been named that the JFK files are dirtier than expected in a major admission by the head of Declassification Task Force, Anna Paulina Luna. She's been asking for it for a very long time. It's finally out, and she is saying it's worse than we thought. And amongst other things, it revealed that the CIA saw the Roman Catholic Church as a key asset in its propaganda network, and really focusing on exploiting certain things. India, in other news, have conducted raids on the offices of George Soros' Open Society Foundation. So they've been doing a lot of work. As we know, they've charged Bill Gates as well. Some rumors are that he didn't survive that episode. It's very convoluted at this stage. All we know is that guy's probably not around anymore, and his legacy will definitely be destroyed. You mark my words, it's going to happen one way or another very shortly. What else? Very interesting. the World Jewish Congress have revised the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition of anti-Semitism to include linking Jews or Israel to JFK's assassination. Yeah, you heard that right. Because now it comes out that Mossad is was integral to the assassination, and therefore, hence their decision, which honestly, for me, is probably part of the movie, but we'll see how things play out. In other news, it was on NBC, mainstream media, that Hillary Clinton's State Department has covered up elite pedo rings. Yes, it was on NBC. What did I tell you? The normies are not going to believe it until they see it on CNN or the likes, NBC in this case. So Jen Psaki helped Hillary Clinton's State Department cover up elite pedo and human traffic rings, as reported by NBC themselves. So the chickens are finally coming home to roost. That's the saying, right? The chickens are coming home to roost. Mark my words. People will not be able to get away with their evil actions over the last few decades. But anyway, Clandestine shared that the Operation Mongoose files show the CIA playbook on how they conduct regime change. I think this is important to go over. The C three-letter agency / US military attempted regime change in Cuba in the early 60s. After the Bay of Pigs, the C three-letter agency began Operation Mongoose to overthrow Castro via generating a revolt. Sounds a bit like that U country, doesn't it? These files highlight how the C three-letter agency used psychological warfare, media manipulation, espionage, economic pressure, targeted control of Cuban politicians, covert actions, and these docs even mention black market activities, Time magazine dissemination, and the C three-letter agency use of Navy submarine. Same playbook, isn't it? So what is the point? The point is that the C three-letter agency has been incontrovertibly engaged in regime change for decades, and they use a similar playbook every single time. And these people still don't see it. I don't know how, but they don't. What evidence do we have to suggest that the CIA ever stopped? Well, we know they didn't. They're still at it, but thick and fast being dismantled as we speak. Is also extremely pertinent to the war in the U country for those that know about the Maidan coup and the C three-letter agency / State Department involvement in the U country in 2014. Newland, Pyatt, Victoria Newland, etc. Pyatt, etc. Operation Mongoose has a lot of parallels. If the C three-letter agency were engaged in regime change, then can we assume they're engaged in regime change now as well? Of course. Same playbook, all over and over again. So, important to note as well, I'm jumping back and forth, but that's just how my notes go, that I'm just checking. So, what do the JFK files tell us so far? Okay, JFK called Joe Biden a traitor. That was many, many years ago. And here we are. He's just been the president of the US almost twice. The C three-letter agency orchestrated the entire assassination. That we know, right? Nobody has to kind of argue that. Links to Mossad and Israel, like I said. Ties to the Khazarian mafia, of course. Gary Underhill was murdered after revealing it was a C three-letter agency operation. So who killed JFK? Mossad, Israel, hence leaving Israel for last. Because this one is going to bring the whole house down. It's connected to everything. It's connected to the trafficking. It's connected to the coups and the color revolutions, all the wars. It's connected to everything. Now this guy is just kind of analyzed. Where is this now? Let me just see my notes. He said the JFK files appear to consist of 1,123 PDF files. Each PDF consists of 1 or 2 pages, so it's a lot. I'm not going to read everything now, but everything is in there, including the plan to kill Castro, James Angleton, Israeli intelligence, American patriots against the usurper regime. There's a 157-page document on Latin America Division report of findings relative to Cuban complicity in the assassination of JFK. Tens of thousands of JFK assassination documents under urgent DO justice review. So yeah, I am not gonna, there's the 52-page Warren Commission's report, MLK. It's a lot of things mentioned in these files. So they're still working through it, and I'm sure, those very studious digital soldiers will let us know what are the most important facts, because I'm not going to go through them. That's not my job. I've got ADD, so I can't go through these things. And then I just have to mention there was something that I shared on Telegram as well from the American Thinker that listed 40 well-kept secrets that all US slaves should be aware of. Yep, you heard that right. The Revolutionary War was a fraud. The United States did not actually declare independence from Great Britain or the King. America is a British colony. We kind of knew that, right? It's a corporation, not a landmass that existed before the Revolutionary War. Information taken from the Articles of Association, October 20th, 1774. Furthermore, the British troops did not leave until 1796. There's various treaties mentioned there. The King of England financed both sides of the Revolutionary War. Same playbook. Treaty at Versailles, July 16, 1786. The gold fringe, symbolic of royalty, which is attached to the border of every US flag hanging in every courtroom across America, symbolizes America being ruled to this very day by Great Britain under international maritime admiralty law. What have I been telling you for 5 years? Okay, not 5 years, but I've been saying it for 5 years and on this channel for 2.5 weeks. So, guys, there's a lot more where that came from. I have to go. I just wanted to bring you a quick update. I hope you're super well. You're sailing through the energies currently out there. And yeah, just, these are all like fun things to dive into. But don't forget, make time for yourself, make time for your own growth and development. Not any books, any stuff outside of you, just you. Go for a walking meditation, go for, go into nature, things that inspire you, things that allow you to go into that sort of theta brainwave. That's where you need to be to discover the true disclosure, as Paula Davis and myself was chatting about in my last video. If you haven't watched it, really watch that, because I know you guys like the fun stuff, but that's the deep stuff, and that's where the good stuff lies. So don't miss it. Just go to my videos and you'll see it's the last video that I did before this one. So on that note, I'm going to sign out. Don't forget to subscribe to Telegram. Great resource to keep in touch with us daily. Remember to subscribe to this channel so we can share the truth. Having lost 2 channels and being shadow banned, it's not fun. So I appreciate you sharing this around if you enjoyed this content, so we can spread the word. And then all the other links are below if you want to connect with me on Instagram or follow Vivid Earth on Instagram. Very important, also the website, vividearth.org, one word, vividearth.org. There'll be a box that pops up if you want to subscribe to our newsletter or stay in touch with whatever news and happenings we have. You can do that. I promise I don't have many newsletters because I don't have a lot of assistants, so there's only about 1, maybe 2 sometimes a week. That's it. So otherwise, I hope to connect with you all very soon. I hope to connect with my Joburg brothers and sisters in Joburg on the 2nd of May. So share with those that might be interested. And I'm sending you all much love and high vibrational energy for this beautiful eclipse window that we are still in until the 29th. So take it easy. Both Venus is and Mercury is in retrograde, so take it easy. Don't, flip out. Just calm yourself and think before you speak. So I'm sending you much love. Speak soon.